Hello, my IBDP students. I'm Dr. Sukanya, an IB educator, and I'm back once again with you to share some quick tips so that you can handle your physics IBDP curriculum with a lot of smart work. And these tips are being shared by the veterans of 7.co.in. And by this time, you already know that this portal happens to be the best online IB resource center. Well, before we delve deep into physics as a curriculum, I want you to understand that why it happens to be one of the most fundamental of the experimental sciences of your NOS in Group 4. The reason being it seeks to explain the universe from a very granular level, that is from the smallest atomic particle to the intergalaxy distances. So you can imagine the range. Physics also happens to be a discipline in STEAM, no longer under STEM, because it calls for a critical bent of mind along with your creative thinking and art of imagineering. Well, let's understand why it happens to be, a discipline for you guys, that is the Gen Z learners, because it infuses the adversity quotient, the emotional, social, and intellectual quotient in you. It helps in inculcating a problem-solving skill set in you so that you can apply the scientific methods to collect and organize data. It helps you to develop the higher order thinking skills right from constructing knowledge to applying it in real world. Integrate your physics knowledge with technology, inculcate the art of communication skills, and also integrate it with math. Well, this is a very self-explanatory syllabus component, so you can easily make out the recommended instruction hours for your SL and HL. And when it comes to your core AHL, that is your additional higher level option and your practical scheme of work. Well, let's understand this in depth. This is talking about your approaches to teaching and learning. So, of course, your subject matter experts would want a very deep understanding in your general thought process, inculcating application-based skill set in you so that your foundation becomes very strong. Then, of course, referring a data booklet as your main reference link, which is going to connect you with the real world. Inculcate international mindedness in you. Physics also happens to be one of your key areas of knowledge of your TOK. So it links physics with real world applications and other DP credits and integrates physics with other group 4 subjects. You already know by this time that group 4 experimental skills involve a lot of hands-on activities, whether it is in the classroom or in the field, and where you get to integrate natural phenomena and secondary data sources to investigate, to research, collect the data, improvise the results, analyze, critique, evaluate, indulge in peer group discussion and reflection. Well, this is pretty interesting. It tells you how physics is integrated with mathematics and with ICT. So with ICT, you can understand you get to use a lot of updated online tools. And when it comes to your math, you carry out basic arithmetic, trigonometric, logarithmic, and exponential functions as well as approximations. You use standard notation, you solve algebraic and simultaneous equations, you get to plot your graphs and draw best fit lines in your scatter diagram, you get to interpret the diagrammatic presentation of data and conduct predictive analysis. It's a 3-stage plan, which if you consider it as a constructive planner for you, it's going to help you a lot in preparing for your exam. So the first one is customized order of learning according to your scheme of work. Then the second one is adopt a spiral study fashion for your HL. The third one is the option topic can be dealt as a standalone or integrated with the teaching of the core and or AHL topics. So you get to understand this better once you go through the syllabus overview in detail. Well, this is your assessment objectives, and you understand when it comes to your assessment objectives, of course, it plans to help you climb the learning ladder from your lower order thinking to higher order thinking. That is right from constructing knowledge through your different ways of knowledge to applying knowledge in the real world. So this is exactly what it talks about. Demonstrate knowledge and comprehension of facts, concepts, terminology, methodologies, and techniques communicating scientific information. Then you get to apply them. Then you get to formulate, analyze, evaluate your hypothesis, research questions and predictions, methodologies and techniques, primary and secondary data, and your scientific explanations. Well, last but not the least, you need to demonstrate your affective skills to give a deeper insight and understanding to your ethical investigations. Please don't forget that whether it is approaches to teaching and learning or whether it is your assessments, both connect with your learner profile, where it calls for inquirers to connect knowledge with the practical world and your internal assessment, where also it calls for knowledgeable learners to connect with international mindedness in applying practical applications in your internal assessment. You are assumed to be thinkers, where you can connect with the metacognition involved in your TOK. That's nothing but learning how to learn. So that's the theory of constructivism with your practical work and your internal assessment. You are communicators, and so you connect with your external assessment, your internal assessment, and all practical assignments. Yes, you are very balanced personality, so you have a holistic approach towards handling your practical work, and you have a reflective approach as well to collaborate with your peer groups. Now, you are caring learners, and this caring attitude connects with ethical practice and empathy. So you are risk takers who would take up your internal assessments and external assessments with a lot of grit factor and confidence. You are principled students, so you're going to connect with the ethical behavior and academic honesty involved in the research. And you are open-minded, so you are going to invite a lot of collaborative peer group discussion and reflection. Students, these are your assessment objectives. It's very well structured and planned for you. So just follow the steps in the order I'm mentioning. I think exam would be a cakewalk for you. So integrate physics with the other NOS, math, and ICT is your step number 1. Number 2 goes as read and revise your guide on a weekly basis. Very, very important for you. Number 3, focus on your foundation before starting to solve problems. Number 4, remember that your profile very well connects with your approach and evaluation, as I've already discussed. Number 5, sync your circadian rhythm, that is your sleep-wake cycle, with your study relaxation clock so that you can unwind and you remain stress-free. That is exactly what the mentors of 7.co.in would help you to do. So that's it for today. Stay tuned if you want to learn more about the syllabus and the topics covered.